or at the university level. So best wishes to you in your endeavor. You know, you are the future leaders of this beautiful nation, and the only way our nation can develop, the only way our nation can move forward is that we must ensure that our people are educated, our people are sensitized, and you know, the opportunities out there, so that you can accomplish whatever you set out to accomplish. So once again, big congratulations to each and every one of you who did exceptionally well at those exams. I know someone got about 25 subjects, number of grade ones, grade two. I had families too who would have excelled. And I just want to say big kudos to you guys. You would have made us proud, 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 proud. So also, I want to extend birth anniversary greetings to those of you who had a birth anniversary early in the week, and whether today or over the weekend. I pray that Almighty God continue to bless, keep, and direct your path as you celebrate another milestone. I also want to, as I'm on birth anniversary greetings, I want to make a special shout out to a young lady who is our newest, one of the newest operators here at HBTV Channel 9, Miss Cherise. So she is celebrating a birthday to you. So from myself, the staff and her colleagues here at HBTV Channel 9, kindly accept our best wishes to you, Miss Cherise, and may God continue to bless you, my dear. For those of you having a wedding anniversary, big congratulations to you. And on the sad side of things, allow me to extend condolences to families who would have lost loved ones. Afternoon, one of the young men who were involved in the accident, I think somewhere where the Monrepo area on the east coast of Demerara, young, I think about 19 heading to 20, soldier in his prime was laid to rest this afternoon after that fatal accident involving himself and his a colleague or a friend, school friend of his, right? So he was laid to rest this afternoon. So I also want to extend deepest condolences to the Pereira's family, and the staff, the head teacher, the students, and all the other teachers at the Richard Ishmael Secondary School, a school that he attended just before moving on to, you know, seeking an employment with the Ghana Defense Force. So that is what I want to get out of the way where greetings are concerned. And allow me to take this opportunity, like I would normally do on previous programs, to remind each and every Guyanese that continuous registration is in progress. I repeat, continuous registration is in progress. So it is our responsibility, it is your responsibility to ensure that whether you have a child who will attain the age of 14 by December 31st, 2023, he or she can get registered. For those who are 18 years and above and never had the opportunity of owning an ID card, once you have the requisite documents, whether birth certificate, a valid passport, you can use those documents to get registered. You know, having an ID, it is not only for the sole purpose of voting on an elections day. That ID allow you to, do other personal business, whether seeking a job, opening of a bank account, getting registered with the GRA in terms of getting your TIN certificate, NIS card, and many places you will normally visit, they will ask for your proof of identification. So, the ID card is very small, it's more like a pocket size that you can carry around any given day. So, I just want to encourage all to get registered. And as I've been saying on this program, if you're having difficulty, you don't have a birth certificate, and you would like to have or to get a birth certificate, right? You can reach out to me. You have our offices across the 10 administrative regions, and when I say offices, I'm speaking specifically to the People's National Congress Reform. You also have my other colleagues, other leaders from the party that would be more than able to assist you in sourcing those documents, whether your birth certificate or perhaps your passport. But to get to the passport, you must have a birth certificate, right? You must have a birth certificate to get a passport, right? So I just want to re-emphasize once more the importance of having a birth certificate, of having an identification card, right? Okay, so moving on, I also want to take this opportunity in well, good. I think I've gotten my announcements out of the way. So tonight I am all alone, and I will be looking at general issues. So just buckle up and enjoy the program. I wouldn't open the phone lines, but just to ensure that I get these issues out of the way. As it is right now, we have Building Expo 2023 has reopened. Last evening, I think we had the opening ceremony, and coming out from the ceremony, I haven't had the opportunity to read all of the articles, what Mr. Irfan Ali would have said, what Colin Crowell said, what Susan Rodriguez had to say, and what others had to say. But the little that I have heard thus far is that at the Building Expo, young people are now being asked, once you visit the exhibition sites, you would be able to have an opportunity where construction is concerned to how you can get involved in the construction industry. You will recall some weeks ago that I think it might have been either Barajaglio who would have announced that we need approximately, trying to remember the figure, if it is either 600 or 1,000 heavy duty truck drivers. And then subsequent to that, we were told that Guyana now has an opening for about 10,000 employment in this country. I mean, yes, while we hear, for me, these are troubling figures. And why am I saying this? Is that this regime has failed to say to this nation, as at July 31st, this is what the analysis has shown, or the data has shown, with regards to what is happening in the labor force, right? And you expect these kind of information coming from the Ministry of Labor. I don't know what Mr. Hamilton and his team are actually doing down at Labor. We also have the recruitment center, where they would, persons would normally visit that center to file their information with regards to their names, their addresses, contact information, their qualification. So once their vacancies across, whether the government sectors, you expect that the recruitment center would be able to invite or to notify persons so that they can make an application to the relevant ministries. Even to that, we don't have, as a nation, we don't have that kind of information. And I mean, going forward or doing business in this nation, in order for you to be on the right track, obviously you have to depend on data, you have to depend on information that is readily available, so that decisive decisions or actions are taken. But this is not happening just yet. And as Guyanese, we must be concerned as to what is happening in the labor force. It was this, just yesterday, thousands of young people who sat the CSEC and the CAPE exams, they will now be a part of the labor force, because many of them, I guess, might be going out there to seek employment if they don't move on to the next level, whether sixth form or university. So the onus is on the government to ensure that, one, the enabling environment is there, so that our people, Guyanese, wouldn't have difficulty sourcing employment. And you would recall that it was this very regime leading up to the March 2nd, 2020 elections, they promised Guyanese 50,000 jobs. 50,000 jobs. This is not the coalition saying this. This is what the People's Progressive Party Civic said. Creation of 50,000 new jobs. Creation of 50,000 new jobs. They are yet to say to us, from this amount, how many persons to date have been employed, where they have been employed. Thirdly, what are the new jobs? What are the new jobs, and where exactly are these new jobs? Because this is what they promise young people. Creation of 50,000 new jobs. You understand me? So I know for a fact that many young people are unemployed. And every day you would have different ones reaching out to you to inquire where you can find a job. Just last week, while conducting a little walkabout in my constituency there, about 3 or 4 young people came up to me. Miss Ferguson, help me find a job now. I'm looking for a job. But you do get down to what are your qualifications, the basic things. Many of them don't have the requisite qualifications to get a job. But what I said to them, look, perhaps I can help to channel you to the Ministry of Labor, because I know they do a number of training. They should have a number of programs to help young people who were unsuccessful at the secondary level to at least be trained, and after training they can be placed in some ministry. This is what a caring administration should be doing. I recall under the David Granger-led administration, we created the Barthram Collins Public Service School, because many young people, when they finish high school, or in some cases the University of Guyana, they want to be employed with the government. So in order for them to be professional and to know the insides and the outsides of the public service, we decided as a government that we would have them go through several months of training, and then you have them interned at ministries where they can now get the exposure and the additional training before they actually become temporary employee, just before moving up to permanency after their 3 months probationary period. But what you find happening now is that when you look across the public sector, a lot of things are happening. Because when the People's Progressive Party Civic came to government, professional, qualified, experienced persons, they sent home, they dismissed. So they always like to blame the coalition of dismissing X amount of people, but still yet, they're not saying to us how many people they would have dismissed since August 2nd, 2020. And many of those persons who they have dismissed, these people cannot even get a job, whether with the private sector or the international bodies, because it seems as though these persons have been blacklisted. And just last week, I want to share this with you so that you can get an understanding of what is really happening here. A friend sent me some information last week, and this is what the friend said to me. Let me just ensure I get everything. This was just last week, and this is how the conversation went. Annette, good morning, girl. What is going on in the public sector in Guyana? So I was like, hello, my brother. I will just leave it as that. So the person sent me perhaps information on a few vacancies in the public sector. And these trying to get it open. You got the Ministry of Education, right? You had the Ministry of Education. You had the GPL. They were looking for senior automation engineer, data analyst, engineer. Then they were looking, GPL again, they re-advertised. They had head of demand Oh boy, I'm trying to. Okay, senior economist, this is system planning technician 3, and I can go on and on. GPL again, shift control engineer, right? So the conversation continue, and this is what the friend shared with me. After firing all these people, they're now desperately trying to fill vacancies. They are literally, and when the person said they're referring to the regime, the PPPC regime. They are literally responsible for the collapse of the public sector. Now, this is not Ferguson words. This is not Valda Lawrence words or Aubrey Norton words. Right? This is right thinking Guyanese. This is coming from right thinking Guyanese who can think for themselves. Conversation continue. And the sad thing about it is that their people don't want those jobs because of the salary. Right? And for an oil producing country like Guyana, our institutions must be strong. This is not a politician speaking. This is a well qualified person, because we went to university together, but this person was in the faculty of technology. Qualified person, qualified engineer, sharing his views, his opinions of what is happening across the public sector. Right? No wonder they can deliver services to the nations. No wonder they cannot deliver services to the nation. Practically every other day is a blackout. And what they promise us? They promise us that blackout will be a thing of the past. That is what they promise us. They're talking about renewable energy. They're encouraging us to use solar, do this, do that. But still yet, with all the monies being plugged in to the Ghana Power Light Inc., we're back to square one as pre-May 2015. But you know what? They wouldn't tell you. That is why when I get on social media and I expose the truth and expose the fact and the information, many of their people don't like that. Many of their people, they come after me, calling me all kinds of names, derogatory comments and all kind of things. But you know what? That will not cease me from speaking truth to power. Because I believe as leaders, we have a moral obligation to the people of this nation to tell them the truth. Leaders must be honest with their people. And I, who served in a government for less than 5 years, because we hadn't our full 5 years term, because you would remember what happened on December 21st, 2018. That vicious no confidence motion that was filed against the David Granger-led administration. And you know why? People were seeing progress. And people knew that oil was coming. So in order to get rid of the David Granger administration, we got to come up with a strategy. And the strategy was get one of their own to side with them, remove a no confidence motion, and we can get the rid of the David Granger administration, because we have to get our hands on the oil resources. And that is exactly what the People's Progressive Party did. Greed for power greed for money. That is all they know best. And I will continue to speak truth to power. So back to my little notes here. So the conversation went on. They allowed, as I said before, this is not a politician speaking. This is an ordinary Guyanese who can analyze, who can think critically and give of his views of how he sees things being played out in this country. They allowed political vindictiveness to be the driving force behind all the decisions that they have made. It's the labor force that has the power to keep the progressive wheels of this nation building. So if you chasing the labor force away, you understand me? So I responded by saying, thanks for sharing. Person said, anytime. Then they ended by saying, they have to be strongly criticized. You hear? They have to be strongly criticized for mishandling the public sector and by extension jeopardizing the future of this nation. Guyanese viewers listening to me, this is not a politician speaking. This is a professional Guyanese, and many texts or messages like these you would receive on a daily basis. Because people are fed up with the People's Progressive Party Civic. Just this afternoon before coming on air, I met a friend and she was sharing with me, man, Forgy, you see what these people doing? Salary and making it, salary and cutting it, things hard in this country. But yet, the People's Progressive Party Civic would want us to believe and the world to believe that all is well in this oil-rich economy called Guyana. But all is not well. I don't know which cloud Jack Dio living on, which cloud Finale living on, which cloud Hamilton living on, and all the rest of them, where they live in. Guyanese are suffering in this country. But they believe that giving a handout here and a handout there would help to suffice the needs of our people. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. The person further said, you know, look how these people wasting the oil money. They're going in this community, they're going in their own community or their constituents and doling out the money. So people are looking, people are watching. Where is the fairness? Where is the equity? Where is the equality? Where is the so-called one Guyana you're speaking of, and you want people, you want to subject and beat people into that believing that, well, look, it's one Guyana. Look, it's not no one Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not no one Guyana. We know but one people, one nation, and one destiny. That is what we know. So I had to remind my friend. I said, man, look, you know, because they got to make the comparison, the coalition didn't do this and the coalition didn't do that. I had to ask the question this afternoon. Man, mate, the coalition didn't do nothing good at all. I said, without oil money, we give 77% increase in salary. Where get last year? They give you 7% and we got oil. You didn't even know we're getting this year. I said, without oil money, look how many things we were able to do in terms of infrastructure-wise. The Maruka Bridge, it was a dilapidated wooden structure in region number 1. It was the David Grange-led administration that gave it a solid concrete structure there in region number 1. Let them had red road, the main road was red road. What we did, we gave them concrete roads. Port Kaituma, from the time you land at the airport there, was share red road, or the airstrip, sorry, was share red road. They get concrete road from the airstrip right through to out to the waterfront area. These are the things, and I will continue to share and to let the viewers know and the people of Guyana know, whether on my social media platform or through this very station, what the coalition did. So don't try downplaying the coalition, because I will continue. If it's me alone, I will do it. I will do it because we must understand we have a government, as my friend in this text said, that is vindictive. They just beat into the heads of some Guyanese that the coalition didn't do nothing. And that's how they had people running around the place during the local government elections. Oh, the coalition didn't do nothing for nobody. But what they're doing, just like how they splurge, just like how they give out handouts leading up to the local government elections, well, we see a cessation of that. They ain't ready yet. They must be thinking how to come for 2025. Is this the life we Guyanese deserve? No, we deserve a better life. A small population size of less than 1 million people, why we can't enjoy a comfortable life? You got one man, all he can survive on is political power. That's all he can survive on, political power. Because being a private citizen, I know his life will be tormented. So he got to be in control of everything. So at the Building Expo, they're asking persons to come, young people to come, and you will know how to get into construction. You don't have to have a host of Building Expo to know where and how you can get into construction. So for me, the Building Expo, as I said briefly on my social media platform, is a way really to help, the major investors. Well, it's a good thing to, let them showcase what they have to offer and so forth. But at the end of the day, they make a little money there. Because the big question one needs to ask is whether a poor man, a low income earner, would be able to secure a loan, get a reduction on the insurance, whether it's health, fire, otherwise, and all the other services that they have on exhibition out there. I simply ask a question, and the trolls came after me. I said Building Expo 2023 is here again. But yet, we haven't had an analysis of Building Expo 2022. I need to know from that expo, whatever you had advertising and on exhibition there, how the poor person or persons were able to benefit. Tell me, if 100 persons got low income lands, out of the 100 persons who visited the exhibition center, tell me how many were from the 100 were able to get a loan without any hassle. That's the information we need to know. You know, you just can't have a project or an activity and you don't do an evaluation at the end of it. Because doing the evaluation would help you determine how you go forward. So for Building Expo 2023, this is what we need to ensure is done. So I got calls of persons who received calls from the ministry last week asking them to turn up at Building Expo 2023 with half of the money to pay for land. Now tell me, how can a poor person or a public servant who is earning a salary at $81,000 a month, how he or she finding when it's $500,000, because the land is $1 million, they got to find $500,000 between the hosting of Building Expo, and they were only given a mere few days before the opening of Building Expo. What are you doing to poor people? This Building Expo, what you should be saying, okay, for Building Expo 2023, this is what the government intends to do. All those persons who have house lots and you pay down a little 50% already and you ain't pay the additional 50, we're gonna ask you on the additional 50 or the remaining 50, you pay at 25%. And you give people time. But no, they ain't doing it so. But you know what the coalition did? For the 50th anniversary on the 26th of May 2016, what we did, we had a promotion. So we said to people, if you were allocated a house lot and the cost of that house lot was $500,000, we said 50% off. So what happened? You end up paying $250,000. Or in some cases, what you had, the land cost 1.2. So you had to end up paying the first 50% on the 1.2, which would give you 600,000. And then on the remaining 600,000, you had to you were able to enjoy an additional 50% on the remaining 600,000. So in actual fact, you pay 600 first, and then an additional 300. So a 1.2 land, eventually you pay $900,000. That's what the coalition government did in 2016. And in 2020, what we did. For the Republican anniversary on the 23rd of February 2020, it was 50 years, yeah, 2020, we also hosted another promotion. Nowhere in this country, 23 years of the People's Progressive Party Civic, they never said to Guyanese, you got so much percent, you got this anniversary coming up, and we're going to give you a reduction. Some people are finding it hard to construct. Yes, they're going to get a little piece of land. But after the land comes what next? If they don't have the necessary backends to get the loan, because it's not only getting the loan, when the loan approved, you got to find legal fees, you got to find insurance fees, and all the other fees you got to find. And it's difficult for some persons. But what are you doing? You're telling people about cement and I think it's cement and stone, or cement and sand. No, steel and cement. Steel and cement. Now tell me, for building expo, you say all low income earners who have already received lands, we will give you cement and steel. But sometime last year, they came up with this cement and steel project, or initiative, sorry. And many persons, I have to ask a question, how many persons benefited from this cement and steel initiative? Because different ones are meeting you and saying to you when they visit, oh, that thing that already closed. Already closed, excuse me. No, sorry, you can't benefit, because persons are now made aware that in order for them to benefit from the steel and cement initiative, the first got to get a plan, they got to get this, they got to get that, they got to get a tariff. We have to find ways and means to help poor people in this country. I saw an ad, I think on Span Global 24/7. And just before the program, you know, they have these different ads coming up. Oh, Guyana will look like Dubai. And, you know, you have the persons in the country there in Dubai, you know, sharing young people. I have a free home. I have free education. I have free this. I have free that. Now tell me which Guyanese. They want us to believe that Guyana will be the Dubai of the Caribbean. But which Guyanese can stand before a camera to say, oh, Guyana, the Dubai of the Caribbean? I, as a Guyanese, was able to acquire free education, got free house lot from the government, and free this and free that. No, we cannot. We cannot, because this government needs to do more to help poor people. To help poor people. So, Building Expo 2023 is here with us again. And as I said, just as I posted on my Facebook page, I would love to see an analysis of Building Expo 2023. The next issue I want to touch here briefly is the North Tamari situation. And there is a situation brewing in the North Tamari area. I was there. And even before I was there, it will be good for me to give you a brief background to this whole issue. When we were in government, or just before we took government in 2015, the then People's Progressive Party Civic, they were on the backs of those people, the residents there in Tamari North, saying to them that they were in close proximity of the airport. Long story short, the then opposition, we went in and we were able to meet with the people. May came of 2015, the government changed. When we reviewed, the David Granger administration reviewed the airport project, we recognized that what was told to the people, the residents there in 2011, wasn't factual. That the people, yes, people were, in close proximity of the project. But what we did, rather than using the big stick and the bulldoze and the lick down method, we engaged the residents. And we said, look, This is what we will do. So if your house at that time was a 10 by 10, I'm just using this dimension to really make my point. 10 by 10, we said, well, look, we're going to construct a similar building to that size, to your original size, but we're going to relocate. Those persons were relocated. I'm sorry I don't have the picture to show you one of the houses that we constructed. Not them things we are seeing in Little Diamond there, them colorful looking things, purple, blue, black, yellow, and them colors houses in Little Diamond there on the east bank of the mountain. We give the people proper thing because it's human beings we're dealing with. So we treated them as human beings. I recall, because I was at public infrastructure when this project was being done, that there was a Rasta man. His house, it was a yellow house. I recall it was a yellow house when we finished building it concrete. All the houses were concrete houses that we constructed. But you know, a Rasta man didn't live to enjoy his brand new house there in Tamari North. So the people were at peace between May 2015 up to, I guess it might have been quite recently, until they have been tormented again. So persons have started to construct. If you see these beautiful structures, concrete structures that these people started to erect, young people too, 23, 27, I think probably the oldest might be age 30, who have started to construct. It's a happen. The airport authorities, as reported, moved in and claiming that this land where the structures have been constructed belongs to the Ministry of Public. One side got public infrastructure, property of public infrastructure. The other side got not public infrastructure, public works. The other side has the airport authority, CJIA. Now tell me, I was at public infrastructure, and I know at that time the entire area was unregularized, and we were working. We had started the process because we engaged Lands and Survey, because the lands are on the Lands and Survey responsibility. So we engaged Lands and Survey, we engaged the airport, and there were some, I'm trying to remember, I think residents, the affected residents. So we had a collective of consultation done, and we were able to say to the people that this is what the coalition government is going to do for you. So I went in there with my colleague Simona Brooms. On Monday we visited the area because I got a call last Friday from one of the residents saying this is what is happening. So we went on the ground, excuse me, had some videos done. I posted it on social media, and you know, when you're anxious to make your point, when you really want, sometimes you're stuttering, sometimes the words ain't flowing, and I tell you, the people coming after you, the people coming after you. But as I said before, when the truth is being exposed, this government don't like the truth, because they believe in order to suppress our people, they must not be exposed to the truth. So, you know, the videos, they have hit the social media platform, and I tell you, when I last checked, I got, you know, I'm seeing 6.3K views. So this thing really getting under the skin of some people. I'm calling people all sorts of names, you know. How I used to live in a one bedroom, this and that and all the time. Well, those who know me, know me. I ain't corrupt, will never be corrupt. I ain't corrupt, will never be corrupt. Whatever I achieved, I, Annette Ferguson, Annette Ferguson, can give account for everything. So I don't have to live on the backs or rob the taxpayers of this nation to live a big life. I work hard for whatever I want. So they can say whatever. All I asking you to bring the evidence. Bring the evidence. I work with evidence. I don't work with hearsay. Bring the evidence. And if you can't bring the evidence, I come after you. We have to stop this nonsense in this country. Stop vilifying, stop telling lies on people. If you don't know about Ferguson, you want to know about Ferguson, you gotta ask Ferguson yourself. Don't go and ask Tom, Dick and Harry or assume things. Ask for yourself and you're gonna get the truth. I know my time is winding down. So the people there in Tamari North, I know for a fact that they will not let up. How can a young man invest in millions in materials and you come and you fence off the entire area without engaging the residents? Look what they have done to the shops, to the western side of the airport. I hope I get my directions right. To the western side of the airport, look what they have done. Those people who are plying a daily and an honest trade to help their families. You're going to put a big wall, a big hell of a concrete wall with just a door space, even the window space where the people had. You carry up the concrete wall. What are you doing to Guyanese, man? The people said to us on Monday that they were fooled. MP Ferguson, Madam Simona Brooms, this was not the arrangement we had. This is what they said to us. You go there, the people are saying, no, one woman, she said she got 8 children. 8 children. She said since this big massive wall put up in front of the building, sales have dropped tremendously. Now what you want them to go and beg? Maya Motley said, not me, Maya Motley said, the Prime Minister of Barbados said, last year, February, at the oil and gas conference here in Georgetown, Guyana. Don't treat Guyanese ought not to be treated as tenants in their own country. But it's exactly what this People's Progressive Party Civic is doing to Guyanese. Treating us as though we're second-class citizens. I can tell you, the coalition government, we had a plan for the same area where those people flying their trade on a daily basis. Our plan was to ensure that that area become an economic zone area, whereby all the stalls, you know, like in a kiosk form, all the stalls would have been in one design, standardized. Not no big wall. We didn't putting up no big wall in front of the people building. Concrete walls. What are we doing? You already can't find the 50,000 new jobs as you promised. People trying on a daily basis to make ends meet in this land. Because they got a children for sent to school in another week and a half time. They got meals to put on the table on a daily basis. And by virtue of you doing that to them, what do you expect? They now have to come out from their comfort zone to ply the trade along the concrete walls that you all set up there. What kind of leaders we have in this country, man? What type of leaders we have? You don't have a passion for mankind? You don't have love for Guyanese? And then what was so bad, I didn't see. But the people on the ground said to us, they started to paint the walls, the concrete walls, red, yellow, and black. Y'all familiar with those colors? The German colors? We got it all around the country right now. You drive down Regent Street, you're seeing them flying. You drive down Mandela Hay, you're seeing them flying. You drive down Brickdam, you're seeing them flying. Local government elections finished, it's time to come down. So the people said after they started to make noise about this red, yellow, and black concrete, the paint, they started to paint them in different colors. Now what are you saying? You know, what are we doing? So Guyanese need a better life. And that is why you would recall that in 2011 when Mr. Granger ran for president, what was his tagline? A better life, a good life for all Guyanese. The man is seeing something. He was seeing something. Because he knew that 6 years down the line, I'll be coming. And yes, Guyanese, not some, not PNC, not AFC, not some PNC, some AFC, or some PPP, all Guyanese would have had that better life under coalition government. So, I want to end this evening's program by saying to all of you, Guyana is in a bad position under the People's Progressive Party Civic. And we know that every time they rule, we either seeing fires, we either seeing people dying, we having a lot of fatal accidents on our roadways, and so many bad things are going on in this nation. Because you know why? It is time we turn this country back to God. This country needs Jesus. And I know that, you know, church leaders are praying, pastors are praying day in, day out, because they too want to see a shift in the atmosphere where this country is concerned. A beautiful nation. And why we should be living like this. As though, you know, we're not Guyanese. As though we're from different nations. No, we're not. And it is time for some leaders to stop putting this one against that one. It is time for us to live in love, peace, and harmony. So with those few words said, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me this evening. I do look forward to you joining me next week, Wednesday, for regular program time from 7 to 8. And I want to wish you a productive and a restful weekend. And as you rest, may you do so with your loved ones and your family. With those few words said, I just want to thank you for joining me for another edition of Let's Talk. I do look forward to you joining me next week for another edition. May God continue to bless you. May God continue to bless our people. And may God continue to bless our beautiful nation, Guyana. Ta-ta.